here at the top of the standings.
This is true.
And these are the two teams that want to take that first spot at the top of the North American LCS standings.
Jockeying
See
for
which one gets
position.
closer.
See it right there, 7 and 3, 6 and 4. C9 looking for a piece of that. Second place. We have the bands underway already. We haven't seen much of the Lulu band out today. We've seen more of the Kog'Maw band out. Now Lulu's going to be on that band list with Fiora and the likes of Oriana.
What about the Jhin? He's on the field. Maybe we get to see another Jhin play. As of right now, though, some interesting target bans here from TSM. Now, Jensen has had he had an entire week where he was a god on Oriana. He set up plays for his team. The stats don't even fully describe how good his Oriana and how good some of his games have been this season, because he's done so much dodging of skill shots, and avoiding pressure, as well as setting up plays for the team. That is definitely one of the champions that he has used effectively so far in his strong start to this season. Kog'Maw, though, left up and first picked straight away by TSM. So immediately, the pick ban becomes very clear for both teams. TSM focused very hard on protecting that champion. Cloud9 focused very hard on killing that champion. Let's see what they decide to go with. Malphite's already been banned, so that was kind of a giveaway that they wanted to go for it. And Cloud9 themselves banned away Lissandra. So those are two of the best champions at locking down Kog. We'll see what Cloud9 decide to go with here, though.
High.
Gangplank.
Looking at High, thinking of Janna to take away would be good for protecting that Cog, but support first pick, probably not what they want to throw on the page.
Yeah, so that's an interesting kind of catch-22. You don't want Cog to get Janna on his team, but you don't really want Janna on your team either, because you want your hard engaged. You don't want to get poked out. You want your support to be something like Alistar or anything combined with Kalista, I guess, gets to go in. So that Kalista works.
Well, it's GP Kalista right now coming in for Cloud9. That could very well be balls, and most likely going to the top lane for GP.
The other thing that I look at very quickly whenever Kog'Maw's in the game is Braum, because Kog'Maw works so well with him. Also, he's good against Kog, so that might be a contested pick. With both Braum and Alistar being up, though, I think they may be content to just pick whichever one is left up here for Cloud9. So that's why they focus on Kalista first, need that ultimate. And with Braum being the one taken away, I expect C9 and High to go with the Alistar.
Wow, everything synergizes with this team right now. Protecting Cog, slows, and tons of slows. It's going to be very hard to get on top of TSM. Get on top of that Kog'Maw right now.
Yep.
Having a global ultimate helps, and being able to throw somebody in helps. We'll see what those champions are, though.
Kargas is one of the only junglers with a disengage. Very powerful disengage. Poppy is the other.
Nah, man, Jarvan.
Strongest one.
Alt and flash out.
All right.
Disengage.
Let's see here. Yeah, but it's very clear what TSM we're going to build, especially after that first pick. So it's really just what are Cloud9 going to try and use to attack this comp.
Rush.
Interesting. They've just got a very mixed sort of mid-range team fighting here from Cloud9. Gangplank is a huge pickup, and he does have tremendous AoE impact. No matter how much you try and protect Cog, a barrel chain exploding on Cog in the back line, followed up by a GP ultimate, is definitely very, very difficult to deal with. Especially taking away some healing, taking away a sustain option here. C9 are going to go with that Soraka. It does open up kill lane, because if Winter's Bite does land on Soraka, Cog could proc it almost immediately. Very quick autos coming out on the W activation.
Yep. Look at a Poppy from Hanser here, possibly. She didn't even get touched in the pick ban phase here, and that's something Hanser loves to go for. Yeah,
she did get a slight tap as far as the nerf is concerned, but definitely Hanser has been the premier North American Poppy player, and that nerf hasn't really deterred Poppy players from returning to her and even picking her very early on. Plus, we talked about it. Poppy is another one of these bouncers of the League of Legends Summoner's Rift. Pop up the W here for Poppy and just stand on Kog'Maw. Very difficult for people to get in.
Just surround him with steadfast presence and nobody gets to him anyway.
Yeah, I really like it because Lee Sin's looking always to try and weave around and uses mobility to get in. Poppy really just blocks Lee Sin off, as well as being decent for the dive on Kalista.
Is it Victor? Is it Do? It's TF. Twisted Fate for Jensen in the mid lane. Going back through once week 1 versus Echo Fox.
So will that spur double lift to go and actually take a cleanse? Probably not. Whenever I see a Twisted Fate pick though, and there's a Kalista bottom lane, even if it's a Kalista bottom lane that doesn't have the greatest of CC, it's very scary because Soraka, while she's not good at initiating, if TF ports down and you get a gold card, you get immediate follow-up with a silence field, so you can't flash out, plus it's going to root you afterwards, plus you have the option of Kalista ultimate, so that's a good way of putting more pressure on the bottom lane maybe, and trying to get to double lift is Jensen picking up this Twisted Fate. Multiple globals here for Cloud9. Maybe they'll be able to play the global map pressure game with Gangplank and Twisted Fate as well. Couple of extra options locked in. Whenever you see Cloud9 play, you're happy when they have tools for split pushing.
Yes.
Because they like to use those tools and make the game exciting.
I also want to see if we get Sneaky kind of binding somebody else, throwing in Rush and whatnot. Throwing in the Soraka, it's whatever. Lee Sin and not going crazy. Well, TSM keeps sole possession in second place over Cloud9. Catch them with a victory. Tweet your predictions to @LOL Esports with the hashtag TSM or the hashtag Cloud9win. We'll tally up your votes once we are in game.
That's actually a pretty funny story because a decent amount of LCS players in solo queue have been playing Kalista top. So whenever I get into a game with like Mooney or
let me bind you.
Yeah, or Hunter or something like that, and they bind me at the beginning of the game, I'm like, we have a top Kalista. That's awkward. I'm bound as the jungler. Cool, I guess I'm ganking top. But yeah, that's one of those pocket picks that we haven't seen actually make its way all the way into pro play quite yet for top lane, unless something happened in China that I'm unaware of. Meanwhile, though, you definitely want to bind your Soraka because it's used as a saving tool.
Right.
Not always initiation. And if you have some way to save Soraka, it just makes it even more frustrating for the enemy team. We'll let the crowd cast the beginning of this game.
Well, Cloud9 just got their chance in.
Yeah, they're surging up there. In that mix.
There it is. The amalgamation of chance. So what do we have? Starting items here. Pretty regular around coin. Talisman. Or rather relic, I should say.
Oh, baby. More standard lanes. I am liking
Makes
it.
for the good stuff.
Let's take a look at what these junglers can accomplish in the early game. Gragas definitely has early game options now. As they talked about on the analyst desk, improving his early clear. Went a long way. We'll see if Rush actually goes for his hard farm to get his early level advantage and transitioned it into the little bit later pressure, or if he tries to go level 3. Probably depends on the current state of the lanes. The great thing about jungling, it doesn't get boring. Because it always depends on the current state of the game, and there are so many variables. You know, how are the lanes standing? Where did your enemy start on their jungle path? Who's pulling? Who's playing aggressively? That you get different early game time. Ooh. That's gonna cost him. Walking up like that.
There's a level 2.
And missing an auto, even with the early level 2, is so punishable by a Soraka Kalista lane because even though they're level 1, they basically have 2 abilities with the passive from Kalista getting so much damage. As long as Soraka just gets off 1 auto. Banana has never hurt Yellow Star so much.
He's also not even getting his relics off. He's kind of relegated to hanging behind double lift right now. Also paying attention to this top lane, Haunter has the ability to bump balls out of a teleport that does not work the other way around, so Haunter may be able to get into...
Touch it. Dare you. I love watching it's kind of like a high noon draw situation.
Yeah,
going for a duel with the barrels. As the timer ticks down, who's going to explode the barrel? Poppy actually, even though she's melee, can hit it from range. Doesn't have to get into the danger zone to try and go for it. Oh, let's see if they turn this around.
There's the slows we were talking about. They just connect. That Winter's Bite a little late. If it was already on, Sneaky would have been stunned much earlier. So TSM still not giving up any pressure in this lane, even though they had lost in HP. Still, they want it. Is he going to get it? May have missed that siege. Haunter pushed up to his turret completely here. 20-9 in CS. We'll see how much he actually picks up on that on the inventory screen. And he now sees Svenskeren towards the bot side.
All right, will they move up here? Because this is kind of hard to gank unless you get a winner's bite onto high.
There's the flash forward. Svenskeren uses the body slam. He also gets his flash in. They're onto high, and high goes down. That kills for double lift.
Great job of targeting the Soraka in lane early.
That means love to the mid lane, Kobe. You know your junglers are going aggressive. Why not put some pressure on mid? And we see Bjergsen come out ahead there.
He immediately goes for the harass. Even though Rush wasn't the one who showed. So actually...
It was either way, right?
That was pretty funny.
You knew you weren't going to have it.
Yeah. He actually has the wave in a pretty good spot here, too. So Bjergsen doing very well in this matchup because not only does he have the wave in a pretty good spot and a CS lead for himself, but he's got the potion advantage as well on Jensen. So Bjergsen has been doing a lot of work early on just in this straight-up matchup, and they've even called in Rush just to clear this wave because Jensen is out of potions, and he cannot afford to get ganked by Gragas right now without blowing a summoner spell. They're just clearing this wave so that Jensen can return to base. That was not an attempted gank. That was not a misplay or anything. That was purely buying their mid laner a recall opening, which is important. And,
hello, Wall. Oh, hello, pain and damage as well. Walls didn't like that very much. Sets himself up for somewhat of a recall / take here on the minion wave, but he'll be waiting. Should be able to TP back and clean these up.
Should be able to have enough for his Sheen, too. I think as soon as this drops, we'll see if he started with the Mana Crystal. Early Sheen buy is what Gangplank wants to back on anyway, so that was actually fairly fortunate for Balls. He gets pretty much the perfect back buy right there with the early teleport, grabbing not only the Sheen, but also the pink ward for himself.
Wow.
Okay, let's see what Sven can steal anything away. Doesn't want to get too aggressive. There's a gold card waiting at his back. Rush able to pick everything up off of the camp.
Perfect little game of cat and mouse there. Almost had him.
Ever try playing cat and mouse with a drunk man?
No.
Completely,
like it would
completely
be
different game.
A little easier though.
Bjergsen trying to get that at level 6, but the junglers keep on coming to mid lane and sharing experience. So the level 6 actually a little bit delayed there. Jensen has hit it here for the Twisted Fate, so now we will keep our eyes open. This is the point in the game where you really got to keep track of Twisted Fate's movements. When he shoves the lane up like this and backs off, you really got to keep track of him. Warn your side lanes because bottom lane probably will be the target, but top lane is also an option. That's why we see double pink wards on mid lane here for Cloud9. They want to free up Jensen to sneak into the fog of war and put pressure on both side lanes simultaneously, just with removing his presence from the mini-map of TSM.
That might be bottom. Rush is inclined to hover on that spot right now. They know there's a ward over the wall, so that may slow things down. He goes back to his jungle. Level 6 is being hit all around. Bot lane is still waiting for that to happen, and then maybe we will see the aggression come from them. Gold is completely even with the first kill we saw. Going over to double lift.
Yeah, Rush actually going to head up here mid lane. I was wondering which jungler would go for the clear on these pink wards first.
Yeah.
So Svenskeren waited around. I think he was actually just waiting for Rush to go for the pink ward clear first and try and turn a kill on him. But the timing doesn't work out for Svenskeren and TSM. They don't get that counter gank on the pink ward. And Rush goes in after Svenskeren's already vacated the area to clear. So good job hiding in the minions so that Jensen don't have to deal with the extra damage of that mark being procced by the chain or the chain itself landing.
You can see once he gets his minions cleared up as well, pretty even with Bjergsen there. He was waiting on quite a wave, so he was falling behind a few, but Rush also came to clear that early one.
Yeah. You can definitely feel the pressure advantage, though. Has been to Bjergsen in the early trading.
Yep.
You know, while Bjergsen, he hasn't been quite the magnificent Danish god of the mid lane that he was last. Oh, well, actually, let's look at this jungler interaction here. He's still been good in the mid lane. Oh, fancy footwork.
There you go, double
Still
kick.
got the chunk on him, too.
So Get the follow.
So, whenever you trade jungler health for mid laner health in the gank like that, I still think it's a pretty solid trade because the jungler can just go retreat into his jungle. And with the game being in an early stage like this, it's hard for Gragas to go follow that up and go for an invade on Rush. And he'll be just fine farming that up. So too risky for Svenskeren. Also, he's so low on mana. Can't really make it happen. But as you said, it frees up the mid lane, chunk down the mid laner, and Jensen gets to go walk around. Looks like they do want to hit the Rift Ailed in the eyeball.
Talking about the Danes, they've kind of had different results in coming over. I mean, Bjergsen was in the LCS before coming over, and he kind of excelled. He almost exploded as his image when he came over.
Instant success,
and
yeah.
Jensen has kind of worked up to that role, and he's getting to that position now without having the LCS previously.
It's a really interesting story because Jensen actually struggled for quite a long time when he first came over. But he's improved so much so quickly, you know, last year at Worlds and this year. This might backfire on him, though. Svenskeren looking for the counter.
I don't think they knew that Svenskeren was
Minion
there.
wave, too.
Oh, bops it back, and he may just get bopped all the way. Monster's forced to flash out. He gets taken down. Jensen comes up with a play there. TP's away. He's up towards the top turret now. He's perfectly fine. Bjergsen could easily get caught here, but they don't want to mess with Svenskeren so close to the turret still.
Oh, the micro.
Maybe he does. Rush going in. Bites off more than he can chew. And the wild card, not so wild, picks up its target, finding Svenskeren.
The individual plays there from Cloud9 were so quick, and the reaction speed from both members there of Cloud9 to come out ahead in that was really, really good. The minion wave that we mentioned that was shoved up to that turret actually did the work for Cloud9 as well, getting that kill on Hanser, on this Poppy.
There's those Herald minions.
Keep track of these suckers because they are, as you said, buffed up by Herald as well, so they're attacking faster. But there's the stun. So Hanser's blown his whole cooldown, and look how much damage he's going to start soaking from these ranged minions, plus the Gangplank ultimate, plus the Ignite. All of that stacks up, and Jensen had the quick reaction to teleport immediately after and get out of there on Twisted Fate. Rush going in for this kill does cost him his life, but Jensen cleans it up with the wild cards. Plus, since the gold card landed, it did force Bjergsen back as well, and he won't be able to clean up any of the minions that were at the turret. So all in all, that was a very profitable exchange for Cloud9, made possible by some good mechanical plays, as well as some ignorance of their, I guess, of TSM, and underestimating the minion damage combined with the global pressure of Gangplank. Ultimate coming in.
Everything becomes so hectic when you're under the turret, hoping it's targeting the right people. On the defending side, I should say, in Hanser's point of view. Just hoping it worked out. Forced to flash. We'll see if he can gather himself back together. Still has TP, can help the team make plays, but is a level down now.
Yeah, and we talked about Jensen and, you know, his climb and how he's the kind of the new Danish import mid laner that's trying to make a name for himself and trying to take the throne from Bjergsen.
Yeah.
But in the top lane also, talking about new players having success, Hanser has been probably the best performing player this split for TSM, you know, holistically. Even in the games that they were losing, he had really good plays. So Cloud9 having success on the top side of the map is really big for them. I know that Balls has played the most Gangplank in solo queue. One of his main champions that he's put so much time in, practicing a lot because Gangplank has been so good for so long that Cloud9 were definitely really happy to get that champion, and Balls has done really well in that matchup. And, you know, denying that giant minion wave with the early move top has definitely helped snowball the lane in favor of Balls.
The way the game has been going as well favors him a bit more. You can see him kind of being way far down in CS, not being able to help the team and kind of be a pain point from the top lane, but more so able to stay steady and even bring a bit of that advantage now. Yeah,
and that advantage created by him pressing Hanser into his turret constantly, and it was a good job by Cloud9 realizing that they had this pressure up top to go work with and turn that into a very real gold advantage for the team. Meanwhile, down bottom, checking on this Soraka lane. Farming and healing. They are losing in CS though, so double lift in Yellow Star, while they have been able to keep up the pressure. Actually calling Sven back. Oh! Didn't see the beginning of that one.
That's a bop.
Let's
Got bopped.
And Bjergsen's been bopped. But maybe we'll see the setup. It was just a really clean combo there from Rush at the end. Did see that. One of the most frustrating things about ganking LeBlanc is the fact that when you have your successful gank and you use your burst early, the passive pops and she walks away in invisibility. Lee Sin has a great advantage over her in that scenario where you can cripple, you can reveal her, you can land a Q early.
There's also a fight. Oh, wow. Well, you just see TSM health bars getting shredded right now under Balls' ultimate as he calls in the cannon barrage. And it looks like they're going to find Svenskeren as well.
Tagged.
Over the wall, there's going to be a slow here, but another dash. He's got to watch the body slam hit. That could be his life. It looks like Rush is going to finalize it. He says, remember, top lane? You don't have a turret this time.
Look at that swag recall on his big fat body, too.
Puts down the haterade.
Gragas lying there in his own spilled beer? Probably wine.
Haterade in that.
I think it might be mead.
Mead.
He's wearing, whatever. It's probably water, Riv. We drink water on Summoner's Rift.
He does say if you whine, I'm in.
Hydrate. All right, well,
wine.
Let's look at this collapse, because what business did TSM have starting that off? 3-man Dragon when there's 2 globals on Cloud9. No business, actually, is the answer to that one, Riv.
That high silence right there could have been a much earlier cast for Svenskeren, but silence so disruptive in this fight for them to try and get disengaged. And then Rush wants to follow up on that kill from earlier.
Oh, slap the ground, and I'm out.
You know, from that point, it's actually probably faster to walk back than to back. It's like 7.5 seconds from
okay, so actually it is, especially if you don't have boots, it's not faster to walk back unless you bridge between the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor. It depends on what your champion's move speed is.
But he has
but it is faster to recall at the inhibitor turret than it is to walk back. No boots. I did a lot of timings to kind of estimate people's position when they go into Fog of War, just measuring basic distances in League, like fountain to outer turret, for side lanes or for mid lanes, at boots and at no boots and at level 1 or 2 boots.
The back for camps,
it does help you a lot,
is 120. If you hit the fountain at 120, you will make camp spawns. So if you're backing on an invade, it's 120. Yes.
Okay.
120 and then you run out.
But I mean, it depends on what camp you're going to, I guess.
This is true. Towards the mid lane, Yellow Star and the rest of Team SoloMid. And it does not look like Cloud9's going to be able to stop this. A slow roll from the bot side, which still had focus on a bit of Dragon. Slows them down, but it looks like they're able to save the turret. They call for Balls' ultimate. Oh, I see. The engage onto Bjergsen is kind of muddling things up here. They're not able to get a full engage in the mid lane.
Ignite actually burned there by Bjergsen as well. And healed right back up there by high after the disengage. That's actually a very big cooldown. Ignite's very big and looking for that kill pressure for TSM, but nobody gonna find their mark now. And Cloud9 hold on to their lead. Everybody moving up towards mid. Actually, Bjergsen looking for this pick on high. They do have decent ward coverage around mid lane. Now Jensen.
Oh, he actually killed the minions much quicker than he thought, I think. And he did not throw the chain out in time. Probably would spend a bit of burst damage with the amount of resource that Cloud9 put down towards the mid there. Still, that's a flash out of Jensen. Still going to work nicely.
Love those mind games of when do you throw out your skill shot versus how long do you wait for your enemy to dodge. Because a lot of the times you can just run at them and they'll start zigzagging, wasting distance that they can gain, and you can just close distance that way.
That's the worst feeling situation. You're like, I'm going to dodge it, and then they don't throw anything out, just slowly walk next to you.
It's,
the defeat sets in immediately.
Probably the safest way.
Ponzer, there's a little grass back to Balls. You can see the heal he gets from Grasp of the Undying. Keeping himself nice, healthy, and 50 CS in the lead, just about. Big gain from this lane on the top side. And once he gets the turrets now with this Triforce, he'll be able to knock them down. But C9 loses mid. Hopefully, yes, they can answer with top right away.
And bottom, actually.
And bottom.
So that is going to be all outers. Just kidding. All outers of the top and bottom lane.
The outer extremities.
Dragon traded for Rift Herald, though, in the aftermath.
Mid lane still waiting to go down. Yep, Dragon will be hit up. Looks like Cloud9 has actually lost the inverse. They're only losing mid here, so they have to watch how they can get attacked going into these other turrets, and the warding the TSM will be able to do. Still have a 5,000 gold lead here. Bjergsen now tied with Jensen in the mid lane.
Yeah, and remember that this early gold lead is important for Cloud9 because they're the ones who want to try and use their global advantage and draw out the map, sort of extend the area that they have to work with. With the outers going down, even though the mid one still stands, and that is huge for gaining control of the jungle, outer turrets being down does allow Cloud9 to continue to apply this pressure and stretch TSM over the map, weakening them, because TSM, Kog'Maw specifically, gains so much strength when you group up as a team, and you're able to use anybody sort of as a body in front of you and a meat shield to provide some CC, some disengage. So Cloud9 definitely want to neutralize that by stretching TSM out across the map and also being able to take advantage of their early Lichbane Twisted Fate and Gangplank that's got such a huge lead already to the Trinity Force Essence Reaver combo here for balls. Wow, didn't even go for the Essence Reaver into Infinity, or Trinity Force into Infinity Edge for the big crits. Getting that cooldown reduction for him. He's going to be very slippery with the removed Scurvy on low cooldown.
Seeing what he can get out of it right now. Not very much. Didn't have another barrel to put down and get the extended
You see
range.
this barrel?
Oh, blow it up.
Boom. Don't need it.
Oh.
Big chunk on high is actually important. And actually,
so there's that Quicksilver Sash we thought Doublelift would be going for real quick with the TF on there. And not the cleanse. Uh-oh, though. Rush actually gets hit up on Steadfast Presence. He can't get in or out when he tried to safeguard to his ward. A lot of focus onto Rush. Sneaky now has Yellow Star on him. High's trying to get back to the help and Fate's call. Panzer making it out. Rush actually healthy now. Sneaky goes down. The wild card's just missing on the end as Cloud9 backs up but still wants to attack.
that was a big pick onto Rush. Rush actually took that fight, let himself be caught, thinking that he could rely on Lee Sin's mobility to escape. Oh, the ult! The ult does more damage the lower you are. Under 25% there for High, and Doublelift gets another kill for the team. 3 kills fed into Kog'Maw. That is huge. TSM, that was a very big mistake from Rush and a very good move from TSM. They needed to find a pick and get a team fight. They wanted to group up. They got their fight with everyone in the mid lane there together, and they were able to get some extra money onto Doublelift. This is gonna be huge. So, he wasn't waiting there. That's my fault on the call then. Rush was actually trying to clear wards. Regardless, though, it was a dangerous position for him to be in as Hansen moved up and blocked his escape. And it kind of forced Cloud9 into this team fight, which we said they don't want to take the team fight. They want to try and split the map. And TSM very happy that they were able to get that pick. Definitely gets them some money on the way towards getting back in this game. They definitely still have a pretty big gold disadvantage to overcome. But that was definitely a much needed fight for TSM. And Cloud9 are going to have to be a bit more careful about playing their warding game. Because, as you see, Rush cannot escape the Poppy.
Yeah, that was really well played.
Even
Rush.
with his Steric Cinderhulk build here for Rush.
I mean, he stayed alive, but it was not good positioning for the team.
Yeah, it forced them into a fight they didn't really want to take and actually cost them Sneaky's life. So, while Rush isn't the one that went down, still was the one who got picked.
What happens for here from Cloud9? Triforce Lichbane means once they get to these turrets, they will fall quite fast. I don't know if Balls is ever going to be with the team to make that happen too, though. With 2 members, I should say. 2-0-4, full kill participation here from Jensen on the Twisted Fate in mid lane. So that's the guy they need to be big and also help to make plays here.
All right.
Team. It's going to be difficult for Cloud9 to get in.
Looks like they might just trade turrets here. A lot of TSM have been wandering through the river. They're not even committing to top, actually. Jensen really wants to take a pot shot at that turret. Just the Lichbane auto, single one takes a big chunk out. TSM actually swing back town towards mid, so turret's not traded. The top wave dies on the turret. And the mid wave does the same.
You can see this dance not going too far in Balls' favor. Only able to get a few swipes onto the turret even in that whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for him to take, the turret, and it's going to take a long time, but he's increasing his lead. He's got increased CS lead. His level advantage is significant right now. He's got more than a whole level advantage on Haunter, and he's gangplank, so his gold income is ballooning because of the passive. Balls is definitely in a very scary place.
Does Doublelift have time to sit still? He does for a second, but he knows it's very dangerous. The rest of the team has to give up a lot of their HP just for Doublelift to stand still. Svenskeren makes it out alive. The cannon barrage coming down, and it looks like that's going to be high going in for the initiation of the Fate's Call. Bjergsen's the one that hit, and they find the image and the real one. And it looks like they're going to be going hard. Doublelift, eyes on, he gets kicked to the back. Cloud9 knows with that much HP, they need to get away from Doublelift, and they start to spread the fight.
It's funny. Can he stand still is the big question for Kog'Maw Cubs.
And as soon as
he can! He's doing it! He's standing still! W's back up!
As soon as he did, Rush kicked him in the mouth.
That's why we actually often see cooldown reduction boots for Kog'Maw, so you can reduce cooldown on your W and have it up more often so that you can stand still more often with your... The best boots are the boots that allow you to stand still more.
It sounds so devastating.
You can actually move a fraction of a click. So if you click and then immediately get back to autoing, you have to have really high APM to do it. But yeah, you can slightly move on Kog'Maw and still get enough autos off, before he's built maximum attack speed at least. Knock up onto double. There's the big chunk on the sneaky from Bjerg that made them back off. Oh, the pink board went down immediately too. So that's how they were able to get that quick kill on the Bjerg. And then that disengage there, they realized W's back on here for Cog. We have to respect the Bio-Arcane barrage. TSM though, after that one mid pick there with the team fight they were able to force, regaining control. And they want the team fights. They just want to stay grouped up. And continue to work around Doublelift, who has both summoners.
Ultimate's very close to being up. High's just about to have his to heal it up. Yellow Star pulling back. His Unbreakable's now down. Could not get the barrel to go off. Spreads the team and actually hurts. Bjergsen engaged there, but Rush gets pushed into the right spot. Another one for Doublelift. He's going to be able to move forward with the team. Another one for Doublelift. Can we get a third coming in? They've got the slows. They've got the pressure. Haunter's going to hammer that one home. And Doublelift, you can see calm, cool, and collected as the team calling the shots. They're going to head for Baron.
Kog'Maw things, yes. But really, I want to give credit to Svenskeren for the Gragas ultimate, because the ideal Gragas ultimate is to split one person forward into your team and the rest of the enemy team back. Uh-oh, balls!
Kaboom.
And that's exactly what he did. He hit Rush into the team so they could all focus fire Rush down and get the numbers advantage early in the team fight, while it knocked the rest of Cloud9 back. It's so hard to get a Gragas ultimate into that sweet spot where you get the exact right split of 1 forward and 4 back. But when you do, easy cleanup, very quick there for TSM, and they instantly turn it into a Baron. Huge, huge momentum swing here for TSM.
We'll see this again, because it's something Cloud9 wanted.
Okay, so Rush got interrupted there too. Svenskeren body blocked him out of that ward hop to just start this off, and then he turns around right now as the barrels start to come down. And boom, there it is. All members back. Even though Jensen was going, or Bjergsen was going for that chunk under the 80 carry, that Gragas ultimate splitting the team allows them to go for this cleanup after. After one person falls, the domino effect here for TSM, able to steamroll that team fight. Cloud9, they're really grasping to stay in this game, even though they are technically still ahead in gold. Baron buff stands on TSM, and they're about to get a turret kill top, which will boost them into the lead.
Yeah, they're going to be able to put a whole security line of wards throughout the jungle. Cloud9 rather going to have to go the long way around as they lose top, and this could be a very dangerous protection of second tier turret for Cloud9.
They're closing in. It looks like they want to cut him off as well. Zone him out of the turret. They can get some more global gold here pretty quickly.
You got to know they drop breadcrumb wards. Rush is still trying to get himself into a scary spot here. I don't know if he can really help him. Equinox goes down, so that's going to be a bit of a silence. TSM throwing out damage. They lose a bit. They're gonna
kind of wanted that
thrown to safely. Yeah, thrown to safety. Can Brush comes out, and it does not look like they are going to be able to get this turret on this wave. Probably the next one.
It's so difficult when you lose control of a game versus a squad that has team fighting this strong with this protection for Kog'Maw. It's so much more simple to execute a team when you just need to get that team fight and protect. Whoa!
That didn't even need the full chain to connect. He gets the front end burst out of the LeBlanc combo. Bjergsen picks one up, and that lights the fuse for the fight that could be the final one here against Cloud9. 28 minutes into the base, onto the inhibitor. Not many minions behind them, but ones they will get are Baron up. So they may have some time at this turret. Doublelift, standing tall and standing small. It looks like he will have to back up on this one. Baron
just got a GA, interesting.
Baron should be going down quite soon.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be able to get out alive. So, TSM knows they can't go for the game. They go back, and they will try once again.
Split the recall there. So, they're just kind of leaving Yellow Star.
Oh, he didn't do any damage there.
To his 1v1.
So unfortunate. Here it is. Or maybe not. He does have the locket. Got the magic resistance he needs. Will continuously be able to slow. Kog'Maw's going to have Void Ooze coming up. Rush should be able to finalize this with the cripples and the hits. And everything that they wanted. But how much did they just waste to get that kill?
They wasted a kill for their jungler and a Guardian Angel. The Guardian Angel is garbage now.
Yep. And you don't have the chance to sell it and buy something else as the jungler. Like
it's all about the revive. That's why it's a kind of risky buy, because you want to be able to use it to go deep into a team fight, go to the back line, and win a team fight off of an extra life. But they just took away that opportunity, and now it's just an inefficient defensive item. So
it looks cool. You got wings.
Not worth it there. The chase, why I was going to say, how long are they going to chase this is because they don't have any wards on TSM's side, and it takes a long time to take down a Braum, even though you know that you will be able to do it eventually. How long it takes you is a real consideration that you have to take.
It's like fighting a Tom Kench. You're like, we could do it, but it's going to take a long time. They'll just shield and heal and walk away. It does not look like Cloud9 had the same chance that Yellow Star had trying to get away from the situation, and this is the result. Still, Rush now coming back up. They had lost a few turrets. TSM is in a very good position to make something at Baron happen once again when it comes up, if they want to force it or just continue with what they're doing. Because even without Baron right now, they're still able to push.
And Doublelift actually, so some Kog'Maw opt to go with the Mob Malmortius for the magic damage shield if you're scared of getting burst by magic damage, or the Sterix if you're scared of getting burst by mixed damage. But he's actually just gone for straight health and isn't going to get one of those big shields to pop up. He's got the on-hit slow of the mallet, and I kind of like it. It's actually a fairly efficient item just as far as the combat stats that it gives, but the slow for Kog'Maw on W is amazing. I mean, you're not always going to have the chance to be able to hit a really good Void Ooze to slow them down and keep them in place, so he will have the added slow for his autos as well if he does tag you
and you can capitalize with the ultimate.
Exactly.
On top of that when they're slowed, so it synergizes so nicely. And right now, 7-1-2. The protection and feeding of Doublelift has commenced very early in this game, has continued all the way through the 32 minutes we have. Svenskeren getting Equinoxed. They'll be all right to hold this one. Doublelift on his merry way, starts shooting at the turret. It's quite a bit of damage they have to be careful of. That was one barrel from Balls. His ult is now down, throws it right on top of TSM, but they're already actually out of that damage. They lose Jensen immediately. He does not get the Zanyas in this fight. And now they will be pushed back to their own turret. Poncer's able to soak up this damage. They're really looking for Sneaky and Balls to get some of the damage here.
Svenskeren knocked him up, and I didn't see what the second thing was that CC'd Jensen, but no time to pop the Zanyas. He wanted to try and get as much burst on Doublelift as he could to try and finish him off and then pop the Zanyas, but wasn't able to accomplish either feat. Ends up going down, and Cloud9 cleaning up the crumbs here inside of their base. Just a couple minions trying to grab some gold here. Some interesting choices as far as that build for Rush. Not many of these, I haven't seen many of those items on Lee Sin in combination, but unlucky that they haven't worked out either with his GA going completely to
Quite
waste.
a bit of money to throw in one basket as well.
Every time he's...
stats you just lost.
Yeah. The Sterix is more common, but let's see if TSM can actually close this out, because it's been all in their favor ever since they got that one mid-team fight they were able to pick. And with the inhibitor being down, a lot of pressure around Baron, and the fight over Vision is very real.
Keeping a very strong pace on this game as well, not really giving Cloud9 any breathing room. Every time an objective is up or a possibility is up, they take it, and this may be one of those advantages to grab right here. Sterix Gauge Rage goes off, but it's not going to be enough. Rush will fall once again as soon as the team needs him, and TSM's going to head for Baron.
Yeah, no jungler for Baron means it would be a... Whoa! They are going to go contest.
I mean, if you can put the damage on, pressure as much as you can, that's what they're feeling. Once hit out Haunter, he's playing Whack-A-Barrel, and he's totally winning against balls right now.
He took out the middle domino.
Oh, the Unbreakable stopped the next barrel. He was looking for that to do all of the damage. Just a one barrel going off is not going to be enough to stop TSM right now. Jensen gets the cleanse, they get the locket, they have all of the utilities they have used already, and this is it. Cloud9 has to fight with the abilities. TSM crushing down right now. Level 18s across the board, and Cloud9 cannot stand to turn around and fight against TSM.
They killed the jungler though, and they stopped the Baron. So they made the call to go contest this, not give up the Baron. It does cost them a Nexus turret. However, stopping the Baron is huge, because the Baron on TSM at this point would be game over. That would be a push straight through and take that Nexus turret regardless. So Cloud9 do make a stand at the Baron and stop TSM for the time being. It's going to be hard for them to continue to fight the vision game around Baron, but they were able to hold on for a little bit. And what they're really looking for is holding on until they get a great barrel chain from Balls. If Balls can get a great barrel chain to blow up the back line, then that can be the turning point. This is an end game GP, already 4 items. Hanzo did a good job though, pulling out that middle domino, stopping the chain with his auto, and then also, as you said, TSM were able to avoid the second one as well.
Yeah.
But now the fight is all about working around the cooldowns of your Farsight trinkets for Cloud9. They have 2, now they only have 1, just used one of them. And Balls's will come off cooldown pretty soon, but it's not by Baron Pit.
All right, here we go. Playing with that top member, the minion wave flowing in. They're going to put pressure on the mid lane, calling Balls now from the bottom.
Yeah.
That's going to be sneaky towards the top side, and they may try to cut him off as he gets back. Definitely should be damage on the turret. Just how much will they be able to get?
Yeah, double lift going to melt it.
The pushback, a final go for broke, possibly Kobe. Sterix Rage onto Rush. He's able to stay alive for quite some time. There's the ultimate wish from high, and Cloud9 holds steady on the stairs of their base. That's a kill onto Bjergsen.
They have Soraka.
The zero out potential
there.
Lowered quite a bit.
Whew. Cloud9 holding on.
There's so much in front of them, they forget what's behind. Their base is falling behind right now, and TSM is being relentless about the pressure on the turret. 1,200 damage straight down the line. It's something TSM has to think about.
There goes the Gragas ultimate, and Rush is in there.
Rush, he goes down. GA is up for him. He's going to be a focus as he comes out. Does he have a safeguard to anybody? The team actually moves out to him, and it looks like they hold it. Steadfast Presence stops any engage from coming in, and it's stopped for now.
Oh, they had to back up. Double lift is so low on mana. You have to be really careful. One of the things about playing Kog'Maw correctly, your ultimate, your artillery is something you really have to watch in team fights, because it's so easy to try and continue to spam it, but the mana cost stacks up, 50 extra each cast. And if you continue to do that and you run yourself out of mana to the point where you don't have mana for W, then you've made a grave mistake, because you'll have to work around your Bow Arcane Barrage rather than working around your Living Artillery. Just kind of save your Living Artillery shots for execution, I think, is the best play, because you never know how long a team fight is going to go. And if you spew off too many of those artillery shots, running yourself is pretty much the biggest problem, aside from getting dove by 5 people.
So easy to look at your kills and forget about the monobar when you're firing off all those
Rush
kills.
is going in again.
Double lift gets to stand still, mostly getting minions under his belt on this one, but they get away from the cannon barrage ultimate. Monster on the other side of the wall. I thought Rush was going to take that. Very much like something he would take in the past, maybe just a few minutes ago. 38-20 on the clock, 15-11, much more of a bloody game. Face to face these teams have been the entire time, rather than these games where somebody takes a win with very low kills. More help and utility from high, the Mikhail's Crucible and some other items being finished up here so they can last in these fights. The second double lift gets to stand still, C9 disappears.
Yeah. Cloud9 do have a very scrappy end game though. They never really roll over. They're always looking to throw punches, even if they have to take 2 punches to throw it.
The super haymaker. Dragging over to Team SoloMid. These games have had not much control over Dragon. Not control, but focus on it. Yeah. TSM figure we don't have much but lanes to push and Dragon to grab, so we'll do that to buy time and get ourselves into position.
Because all you really need at this stage is one team fight with victory. 40 minutes in, the death timers are extremely long. It's all about, oh!
That hurts. That's Sneaky going down half. He does get the heals actually from high, so they're going to stay. That will not give TSM as much damage as they wanted right away, but this should fall very shortly. Rush is looking for a way to get to the back line, knowing Svenskeren can displace him immediately. He's so hesitant to get a Sonic Wave and a follow-up onto double lift. They're going to lose the inhibitor here without even pressuring back, and that may be it. It's on to Yellowstar. Damage is absolutely huge from Balls and the rest of the team. They are shredding Team SoloMid right now. Jensen goes to the back just so he can make sure he has priority targets. That's going to be a Zanyas for Jensen. The kill going over onto Bjergsen, and now they're going to finalize a few more. Haunser taking his last breath as Cloud9 finally defends the base.
Taking punches over and over and over, and then they finally hit the breaking point. Cloud9 pulled the trigger just before mid inhibitor goes down. And even though it cost them 3 members, they are able to get the ace and successfully defend the base.
The damage from Balls in that fight was extreme.
They're going for the 2-man Baron. Death timers are long enough to pull this off too, so that won't be a tense situation. Let's review once again how this fight went off. Look at that inhibitor. One more auto on that inhibitor and it would have went down. Oof. The Gangplank explosion that they were counting on was there, and Sneaky snuck around. Sneaky was able to get around the side of Brom's Unbreakable Will to get that off. Jensen right there with the Zonias to survive Bjergsen, but it sets him up for Haunser to finish him off. Balls and Rush were able to get that Baron, by the way.
You were very right, Kobe. One fight at 40 minutes could mean the game, but for C9 it means life. He's still alive.
I love how close these end games are. C9 is so scrappy. They continue to take the fight. End game is really punishing.
It's still just as close. Baron doesn't do what it used to. It's not going to make Cloud9 huge. It makes those waves huge. And if they can't get those too far out, TSM's going to be in the same spot in just a few seconds.
Big thing is that Doublelift does not have his flash either on Kog'Maw now.
Right.
So TSM will have to use everyone to keep him alive. I wasn't quite keeping track because there were so many things in that last team fight, but TSM can go for the option to have Haunser protect Doublelift and sit on him to make sure that Rush doesn't get in there.
Right.
But it's so hard to protect against Gangplank barrel chains. I think that is the highest priority, is knocking down the barrel chains, making sure that a barrel does not explode on Doublelift. It's probably #1 priority.
This pretty little butterfly bait out mid lane. What is this?
They want that.
You're so true, though. I want to see the Fate's Call get
open.
knocked by the Steadfast Presence. Trying to get a lot.
Oh, Rush.
He's got the Guardian Angel. This gives the team time to think. That's actually a lot used on Rush right now, but C9 is not getting the start of the fight that they wanted. Rush very low. The heal comes out, and now TSM looks like they have to turn around a bit. Haunser gets locked down and taken down. Doublelift trying to stand up front. His crits will change this fight. There's another hit from Balls. He comes up huge. The double kill for Sneaky. They could wipe out Team SoloMid right here, and they have Baron to get in the base. You have to be kidding me. That's Yellow Star down. That's an ace for Cloud9. No, they can't get Bjergsen. He's made it out, but I don't think he can stop an entire team.
He can stop an entire minion wave,
Yes,
though.
that is a good point, Kobe.
Well, he can delay it a win minion wave at least. But man, that death timer is 40 seconds plus for all the members. Bjergsen versus Rush.
He missed it. Rush. Bjergsen needed to hit that sigil. He's chasing the wrong one. The other one's on the other side. Oh, it's gonna be high. Oh, he's cheering for Rush. Get back to me right now. It's not gonna take him. Bjergsen could go down, and they are able to dance it out. There's the ace for Cloud9.
That 1v2, and that now is going to be game because they found the last member of TSM. They killed the solo mid.
There's only 10 seconds. I don't know if that's game.
It's not going to be enough.
It is not game.
Woo! Let's keep it rolling, baby.
We are going to. What happened here?
Look,
so much was used on Rush here.
And look at the current of this team fight, because this is the moment you want to re-engage for TSM. The W's up for Kog'Maw, double up is firing away. Now it's down though, and they walked into the barrel chains. The ultimate from GP turns it around. Cloud9 timed that really well. Here's the barrel chain. Boom!
1,500.
Double lift and Svenskeren get destroyed by the barrel chain right there. You work around these timing windows of, yes, we go aggressive when we have Arcane Barrage, and then we have to back up when it's down, and then try and re-engage when it's up. But again, #1 priority, the barrel chains. This is an endgame gangplank with 2 infinity edges. You cannot let one of those explode on double lift.
Ridiculous. We figured, where was the infinity edge earlier? He's like, wait, I'll get a discount if I buy 2. He was just waiting. 19 kill participation here out of 21 for Jensen. He has been all over the map, continuous. We were watching these mid laners, and both of them have been showing up this game to produce results as well.
Yeah.
We'll see if it keeps going. Right now for Cloud9, they are definitely on shoulders of Balls here.
Yes,
the
they
damage
are.
he is doing in fights.
Balls is chanting one of my favorite lines from Freak ever: to infinity and beyond.
I get it.
See if he can make it happen again, though. He has to win another team fight. Cloud9 have to collaborate here. Look at those explosion crit numbers. That in itself intimidating.
Yeah.
And Rush with the GA. The GA has paid off.
He questioned it.
That combined with the Soraka healing. I mean, how much of it is Soraka healing and how much of it is also knowing that you have a GA? So even if you burn him down without burning Soraka, you know he has an extra life to get back up.
And yeah,
thinking about it, I feel like GA actually increases in value when you have a Soraka on your team.
Absolutely. Especially now you see that realization from TSM in the last fight. After they did hit everything onto Rush, they were already turning around before they got hit by Balls. Another fight now dictated by Cloud9 this time. Remember, it was onto Rush. The hit coming in from Hanser. He goes down. This is not looking good, Kobe. TSM is now on the back end of these fights, completely scared of Cloud9's composition, and C9 is going to use this to their advantage.
The zoning there. Double Lift didn't get to auto attack. He didn't get to stand still. He was on the edge.
There in Double Lift. He's getting too close. As soon as Svenskeren and Yellow Star went in, that was it. Cloud9 have held their breath 46 minutes, waiting for the right fights, waiting to scale, waiting for the right items, and they have found it now. Pushing down mid lane, they will take down Team SoloMid.
Never give up, never surrender. Cloud9 hang on and turn it back around.
They will be grabbing a share of second place, somewhere you want to be coming into the end of the split. 20-26, 46 minutes in, Cloud9 take down TSM.
What an exciting game out of both squads.
Smiles all around, hard-fought victory, but again, another one that will have some grimaces on the face of everyone from both teams, since there could have been better play across the board at some point.
9-1-11, 516 CS Balls Gangplank. Fully decked out. All 6 items, as well as the boot upgrade.
It was a damage war between Balls and Double Lift.
Late game Kog'Maw may be the new hotness on 6.3, but late game Gangplank is still
that's nuclear,
the
baby.
trump card.